Well, Morrisons has finally joined the price war amongst the supermarkets, going up directly against Sainsbury's. For ages, Morrisons tied themselves with Genie Point, and Genie Point was probably the worst EV network in the whole of the world. They never worked, but more importantly, typical prices were 90 pence a kilowatt hour. In some ways, it's good news they didn't work. They've ditched Genie Point, they're now with MFG, and they've come up with a price that even Google is not yet aware of. I'm Dave. Well, Genie Points were pretty much a disgrace, and so it's really good news that when we arrived here the other day, and we do visit a lot of places and we do check up what's going on, and we found this. This is EV power provided by MFG. So this is a brand new charger. Now, it's such a shame that it's still a single charger. I would imagine this is done purely for price and convenience. If there was a 50 kilowatt charger here before, which there was, that didn't work, then it's really easy to just throw that one away and put a brand new one in. There's no wiring, no electrical supply, no DNO, anything like that. This is all just instant. So they've taken the old one out, Genie Point, thrown it away and put this one in instead. So when we look at the supermarket pricing, this is where the war is eventually going to burst out and give us drivers a really much cheaper charge. We start off with Sainsbury's, which is 72 pence, and we contrast that with Tesco, where they're working at 69 pence. So this is the sort of market that they see. Now, MFG traditionally, when we look at prices there, they are 79p. So this is right at the very top of supermarket charging prices. And at that price, this charger is going to do nothing at all for Morrisons. However, when we go on Google and look at the pricing, it says MFG 79 pence. That's it, universal, wherever you go, 79 pence. When we actually touch the charger and have a look at the price, what we find is, amazingly enough, 69 pence. Now that's really interesting. We have to look at other chargers. Is this an anomaly? So we looked at Leyland and a few others. And what we found was, where they have 50 kilowatt chargers in a supermarket by Morrisons, the price is always 69 pence. If it's a 50 kilowatt, not in a supermarket charger, car park, in a retail park, for example, even the 50 kilowatts are 79 pence. So it looks like Morrisons has done a deal with MFG, and that deal includes a price fix. I'm sure MFG would not have offered this voluntarily. We pretty much know that because we can find 50 kilowatt chargers in retail parks, which is 79p. So this is actually really good for the supermarket pricing war. They're now cheaper than Sainsbury's. They're now the same price as Tesco. So we're coming down now into the 69 pence, into the 60s, which is still a bit high, but the war hasn't really heated up yet. So what have we actually got here? Well, let's start from the actual bay itself. There's two bays here, both marked up with the nice blue circle. That's it, two bays. The charger itself is a dual bay charger, so it can charge two cars simultaneously. And interesting to note, we have two CCS2 plugs, so there's no CHAdeMO here whatsoever. The maximum power is pretty obvious, it's 50 kilowatts. So who's going to use this? If we look at the new batch of budget EVs that are coming through, things like the Citroen EC3, the new Renault 4, the new Renault 5, BYD Dolphin, this sort of thing, these all have a maximum charging speed of 100 kilowatts. That's it. But many of them are lower, 60, 70, 80 kilowatts. And that's great. You never actually get your maximum. I've never had my maximum at all in 6 years of driving. I check it all the time. So a lot of these budget EVs, like the Renault 5, will charge probably 40, 50, 60 kilowatts maximum in a normal course of events. So if you have one of the new budget ones and you come here, this is going to provide all the charge that your car actually will be demanding. Because don't forget, viewers, it is the car that demands it, not the charger that supplies it. If you were to plug a Renault 5 into a 350 kilowatt, the car would still demand 50 or 60 kilowatts, that's all. So it's the car that controls it. So here, if this is about the maximum that you're ever going to get, why not charge here? 69 pence. It's not the cheapest, but it's not a bad price. But what a lot of people can do is when you go shopping, just plug in for half an hour or plug in for half an hour. No, that's going in the bloopers, I bet. Just plug in for half an hour or an hour, and you can add quite a lot of miles, probably up to 100 miles in that time. So these are ideal. They're very, very handy. We have the petrol station here. We have a Morrisons store, small retail park. So it's really easy to find. Within the car park, it's actually tucked away in a corner, but there are nice signposts to it all the way through the car park, so you can't miss it. So I see this now, once people know about it, this is actually going to start becoming a bit more popular. And the old one, we never saw anyone using it, and many times we came, it was out of order. But this one, fully working, lower price. So what's going on here? Morrisons used to have a deal with Genie Point. They don't want to run their own like Sainsbury do. They will run their own, but they'll have someone who will maintain them. Morrisons just handed the whole thing to Genie Point. So Genie Point would put them in, install them, run them, service them, repair them, supposedly. And I would imagine they paid a rent to Morrisons, but all the takings from it were Genie Point. That contract came to an end, finished. And so Morrisons had to do something because they now had chargers that had no chance of working anymore because Genie Point just pulled the plug, literally. So they went straight to MFG and they just said, right, MFG, do you want 300 and odd chargers to take over and run on our behalf in Morrison stores? And MFG obviously said, yeah, yes, please, we'll do that. But because it's 69 pence, this is where Morrisons must have done a little bit of haggling because MFG would not have offered that voluntarily. It cuts their take or their percentage. So well done for Morrisons for actually putting down conditions on MFG. If you want this contract of 300 and odd supermarkets throughout the country, you cannot charge more than 69 pence. And MFG said, okay, let's do it. So for anyone who's wanting to charge at MFG, if you can find a Morrisons, go away from the petrol forecourts. They're all 79p and they are faster chargers. But if you're in a Renault 5, you're not going to get faster anyway. So what you need to find is some of the Morrisons and find some of the old 50 kilowatts, because where they have the rapids and ultra rapids in supermarkets, they are at 79 pence. Now, these locations are actually really popular because, not for the EV charging, they're popular because we know where they are. Supermarkets are easy to find. They have a lot of facilities. Here we got a Greggs that's now open, whatever. Outside we got 24-hour off license here. We've got a full Morrison store there, which will have things like the meal deal. Not everyone, when they stop, actually wants a proper meal in a restaurant. So if you are on a journey somewhere and you're passing this way, pull in here, plug in, nip in, get yourself a meal deal. In that time, you've probably added 30, 40, 50 miles on your way again. So these are really handy. This is on a small retail park. So there are other things as well, just up the road, McDonald's, if that's what you fancy. Plug in here, leave your car charging, wander up there. It's 100 yards, that's all. So these are great little locations and absolutely suited to the 50 kilowatts. Well, that wasn't so bad, fairly straight. And I do like the bump stops at the back so we can't actually crash into it. A big thank you to several of our viewers who pointed out that you can actually open the charging port flap remotely without using either the app or the display on board. And it's done through the key, and this is the key we get. It's a little mini car, and when we press and hold the boot opening, we get the flap opening. There you go. So that's nice and easy now. So thanks to all of you who left comments down below. Okay, so what we're going to do now, touch the screen to begin. I'm going to select that one. Right, that's authenticating. That one's flashing, and we've chosen that one, which is fine. That's authorized, I think. So all we do now is plug in. Oh, it's gone blue. So we've got a bit of action here. Right, it says initializing, ready, preparing, power delivery. So we're blue on there, blue on there. So this looks like it's actually working reasonably quickly and easily. Let's see what it's saying. Still initializing, preparing charging session. It says ready, prepared, power delivery. And that's the car's timed out. Oh no, here we go. Session aborted. Please unplug the connector. Communication error with vehicle. Please retry. Okay, let's do a retry. Right, that one's authenticating. Now it's showing plug in. So here we go. Preparing power delivery. Initializing. It's flashing. We got two blues, blue on the charger, blue there. And I'm not holding out a massive amount of hope because this is, oh, it's green. Hooray. Okay, I was just a bit premature. So what we've got now, we're on 72% state of charge. That's the normal charge I will leave my house with, 72%. Absolutely ample, about 150 miles for most days. Absolutely fine. So here we're not going to get any speed because we got mostly full battery, and this is showing 24 kilowatts. So even my car, which can charge at up to 150 kilowatts with a good charge in the battery already and a nice warm day, it's only pulling 24 kilowatts. So why do people queue up for the 350 kilowatt chargers when these are perfectly adequate for most people most of the time? So there we go, it's all working. So how do we stop it? Oh, there we go. I think that's a stop. Is it? Choose your no, that's that one. Right, there's no obvious way of, on the screen, of stopping it. Okay, and these really annoy me because they should say, press this and it stops, press that to start it. And often they just leave you hanging, plug it in, it says preparing. What's it actually doing? So this one, we've got no clue as to how to stop it. Right, well, something clicked. No, it didn't release yet. Stopping. Okay. Okay, so it released. Now, I'm going to close that. Just for any new viewers who wonder why I use an adapter, I've got a really old car. It doesn't have CCS2. It's got a Tesla proprietary, which is one of those. So if I want to use CCS2, I have to use an adapter. Nobody else does. Everything now is all CCS2. I'm trying to use it in a normal, sensible way without coming with a massive information. I'm trying to get the charger to tell me what to do, because an awful lot of people with new cars, and particularly with a new charger, it's only just gone in, they won't know what to do. Do you plug in first? Do you pay first? So we have an issue here. I have an issue. This is not simple. If you are a total beginner, this might baffle you. Do you plug in first? It doesn't say. In actual fact, when I did, it didn't work the first time. When I paid first, it worked the second time. It's confusing. How do you stop it? You have to press a few buttons before you find out which one stops it. Are you sure you want to stop it? Yes, I am. So they're not intuitive. Now I know it'll be easier to use the second time and subsequent times. But a lot of these are opportune visits where somebody will just be passing and think, oh, I'll nip in, get a meal deal, and while I'm here, I'll just put a quick charge in the car. Well, if you have to stand there for 5 minutes trying to understand it, it's not a quick charge anymore. So we need these to be an awful lot more intuitive. So one thing now I am going to try is it shows an RFID, which is there. And I have an RFID card, which is an Electroverse. And it doesn't say we can use it here. However, let's give it a go. One never knows what these things do until you try them. Everyone tells me it won't work, but until I try it, I won't believe them. So here we go. So let's go back and just open the charging port. I'm going to start again. So there we are. Okay, that's open. So what I'm going to do now is, let's use this one again. It's the handiest. I know it's the wrong side, but it's just easier for me. So I'm actually going to plug in the first time. And when it asks for payment, I'm going to see if Electroverse is going to work. So there we go. Oh, it beeped. What's that doing? Please follow the instructions. It didn't do an awful lot, although it did beep. Right, so I'd have to say, so it's sort of recognised the card, but hasn't done anything. So I would say fairly confidently here, MFG do not work well with Electroverse at this particular one. Might be different on others, but I can only deal with this one. So all I'm going to do now is, let's get that out, let's cancel that. That's that. Let's go into, so once again, how do we unplug it if we're not charging? I don't want to pay. Well, the charger undid it last time, so I should be able to release it in either way. Right, here we go, unlock charging port. So I had to reverse to the app in the end. The charger itself didn't release it for me, whereas it did when I was charging. So that's interesting. Electroverse for me here, no, but we will try it on different sites. Disappointed. It's very, very difficult. Now that is an immensely bright sun. It's horrible to look into and try and read it, but the screen is really, really dim and it's very difficult to read at the best of times. Probably at night you're going to get your best bet, but really difficult. And it's not very intuitive either. It doesn't tell you what you need to be doing, in what order and when. So good, they've replaced them, good for the price, not so good for what I call the user experience. If you use them on a regular basis, it should be no problem after a while, but first time visiting, yeah, not a good story. So as part of our mission to get the country ready for the EV mandate, which comes in 2030, getting rid of all petrol and diesel only cars, and then 2035, getting rid of all cars with any internal combustion engine at all. This has not been the best experience. It works, we got a charge, mission accomplished, wasn't the best experience. So thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can notify you. Massive thank you, as always, to our Patreon and YouTube members. Without you, we wouldn't be able to get out and about as much. So thanks for watching. I'm Dave.